TikTok actually live though? It is. Ah! Okay, well I might just have to do this with TikTok from now on then. Whatever. I don't really give a fuck about TikTok anyway. Wait, hold on a second. Let me see if it actually shows up how it's supposed to then. And we get nothing to TikTok, bro. There's literally a video feed sent to it. Does TikTok does not work, bro? Shut up, nigga. Right, it says I'm not even live. It literally says I'm not even live, bro. What? On my own channel, it says I'm not even live. Ah. There. And apparently, according to my own fucking profile, like I'm not live, bro. What is wrong with TikTok, bruh? What is this fucking bitrate? Bro, I'm already getting hot. It is 72 degrees in here, yet I'm somehow fucking hot as shit when I was literally so fucking cold that I was sweating, bro. Like, dude, come on, man. I fucking hate Fresno. Like, seriously, this place fucking sucks. This place is fucking ass, nigga. Dude, what the ever-living fuck? Like... Yeah, I love how I literally have my fucking bitrate set at 55, and for whatever reason, Restream for TikTok is like, nah, bro, we're receiving 10K. It's like, no, you're not, buddy. But okay. Literally, no, you're fucking not. This is mad annoying, dude. 6,300, 7,200, 8,900. It just rises. Like that, I never set it to 10K, and I am like, why? Why? 12K, dude. Nobody asked for this in any way, shape, or fucking form. And the only way I can fix it is by overriding the settings, because no setting is set to use that. Absolutely nothing is set. Yeah, go ahead and use 10K, buddy. Nobody fucking asked for that. Absolutely nobody. None. Nobody in any way, shape, or motherfucking form asked for you to send over 12,000 kilobits as your fucking bitrate. Nobody. Absolutely fucking nobody said that. Nobody said that. Nobody asked for it. There's not a single fucking setting set for that. In fact, I've got settings set for the opposite of that, but I guess you can go ahead and just do whatever you want. Please. Totally fucking necessary, buddy. Literally, like, so fucking necessary. Fucking believable, dude. Yeah, and now it fucking works. Like, bruh, why do you have a 5-second keyframe? Like, dude, what is the point of me setting values if the values that I set mean absolutely nothing? Like, I love how I went out of my way to choose that it had a fucking... Like, dude, like, what I do just means nothing. Yeah, okay, I deliberately chose to. Go ahead and just reset it to 5. You know, do whatever the fuck it is that you want, I guess, when nobody asked for this shit. Absolutely nobody asked for it. In fact, I'm asking you to do something completely fucking different, but sure. Go ahead and just do whatever you... Bro, what the fuck is this? Like, who in their right mind ever thought that scrolling on a scroll wheel in a fucking bar where you're supposed to type out a value makes sense? You scroll up for an increased value, and you scroll down for a decreased value, but only when you're hovering over that box. Which, of course, it will take control over your hovering when you scroll down the fucking screen and your mouse just happens to go over that bar. Because that makes sense, bro. Literally, just complete fucking... I'm surrounded by morons and moronic decisions throughout my entire fucking life, bro. And there's absolutely nothing that I can do about them other than kill myself. Because quite literally, they are deeply ingrained into the entirety of fucking society. Right? I shouldn't be able to notice it, bro. I shouldn't have been able to notice this since I was younger than 8 years old. I shouldn't be able to notice it now, as a full-grown adult. Right? And by shouldn't be able to notice it, I don't mean I'm too smart. I mean it shouldn't exist. Because it's obviously not that hard to fucking prevent this shit in the first place. If me, being some fucking idiot with less than 30 years of experience in life, can see the problem, know the solution, and see exactly how the problem came to be. Like, bro. And then, like, further than that, I shouldn't come into problems where I can do that with pretty much every other problem where I don't know the rest of the story, not be able to figure something out, but actually have it figured out. I'm just not confident in what I say is figured out because there's no fucking way what I'm saying could actually be true without it being proven. But no, I'm just an idiot. Thank you, Restream. Oh my god. What? Absolutely what? Like, dude, that just doesn't make any sense. Why would you change it to 5? To a 5-second keyframe interval when I had deliberately set it to 2. When I change it from 5 to 2, it sticks to 2. Like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If you could save me changing it from 0 to 2, then you could... I'm sorry, if you could save it from changing me... If you could save it from me changing it from 5 to 2, then you could save it for me changing it from 0 to 2. I didn't need to change it the second time. You just wasted the fuck out of my time. For nothing. For literally nothing. Right? Like I constantly say, like, it'd be one thing if, like, I learned something from this, or, you know, it's a new problem that, like, actually nobody has come across, and I get the chance to, you know, be some kind of discoverer or something, but no. No, it's always stupid fucking bullshit that humankind has come across a million times, and for whatever reason, all of the tried and true methods to solve these problems, for me, don't work, until arbitrarily they will work. Like, absolutely nothing will change, just a few hours go by, and all of a sudden, you know, it works. Temperature didn't change, who I'm talking to didn't change, my methodology didn't change, you know, nothing that actually makes any difference didn't change. I need to shut the fuck up, take a couple bongers, and just start sucking, bro. Like, I was having... the same kind of trouble with Stream Elements, a new plugin that I was using for OBS to stream. And the way it was working with them is I could get YouTube to work as an output, but no other service. And I couldn't figure out why. And ultimately, what it came down to was the fact that despite what Stream Elements advertises, they don't do the dissemination of video feeds how you'd expect. Right? With Restream, with Streamlabs OS, with pretty much any other service that allows you to multi-stream, the way you multi-stream is you send a single feed to the multi-streaming service, and then you choose whatever platforms you want that service to disseminate to: TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Kick, Trovo, fucking whatever, Billy. Literally, it doesn't fucking matter. Right? So, you encode one stream. Your computer, what, like, your hardware is actually doing is playing the game or whatever it is that you're streaming, and one stream, right? And you wouldn't think that's all that big of a deal, but the alternative is, if you're not going to multi-stream using a service that does that, then your computer has to encode every single stream for every single platform that you send to, right? So if you have 4 platforms, that's 4 individual streams being coded on the same machine. That is a little too much. Especially if you're going to be playing video games and shit like that on top of it, right? If you have a dedicated streaming PC, then it's not that big of a deal, but dedicated streaming PCs are becoming less and less common, despite the fact that multi-streaming is absolutely on the rise. Either way, that kind of doesn't have anything to do with the point. Point is, I deliberately asked Streamlabs, how they, not even Streamlabs, sorry, Stream Elements. See, oh my god, like, these are all 3 different things that arguably do the exact same fucking thing. Stream Elements is the one that I'm using. Restream is what I used to use, and I have never used Streamlabs, because Streamlabs OBS you have to pay for to get all the services. Either way, where was I? Fucking Stream Elements. I should have asked them when I was having issues with, like, logging in and shit like that, because for whatever reason they're a bunch of fucking morons, dude. Can't get a fucking login to work correctly, and apparently my ad block was stopping it, when literally my ad block has never stopped any other login pop-up ever for any other service. I mean, we'll just, you know, brush right past that. I deliberately asked them how Stream Elements handles the dissemination to the individual services. You know, whether I would need to be encoding them all myself and they just send them, at which point there's no fucking need for Stream Elements, or if they actually disseminate it themselves and I'm only sending one stream to them. They never even fucking told me, bro. The answer to that question would have just solved everything for me, because then I could figure out how to actually set all my individual streams up in OBS. But no, they wouldn't tell me, and instead I had to sit here and go through like 4 fucking days of back and forth troubleshooting emails just to get to what I already fucking knew in the first place. What I have deduced is that Stream Elements, they take the one stream that you are sending to them, and they don't do any other post-processing. They just immediately loop it back to the other ones. So you need to use an encoder that works for every single site that you're going to be streaming to in the first place. Otherwise, you're going to have multiple sites that aren't working, but you are going to have a site that is working. Right, so that's exactly what my problem was. YouTube was working because I was using NVIDIA NVENC HEVC, which YouTube loves HEVC, but Twitch, they say you can use it. I've never gotten it to work ever, and I swear I've gotten like tons of forums that say the same thing, because I've had countless hours of research doing that same shit. Granted, this was a couple of years ago, so maybe it's changed a little bit. Either way, trying to use HEVC and it wasn't working on the Restream, or not on the Restream, on the Stream Elements. Once I swapped. So what I did was I was having YouTube as my main one, because YouTube has always been my main platform, and the way I had it before was I could end broadcasts and shit through my OBS. Oh, and it doesn't let me fucking do it. Oh, that is so lame, and I can't type through here either. That actually sucks. It lets me type on all the other ones, but not YouTube's. Maybe I have to add. Oh, but I don't want to. I gotta figure out my workflow for this. Anyway, I don't remember where I was. I don't remember what I was talking about. I remember what I was talking about, but I don't remember where exactly I was, because I got distracted by the YouTube chat right now. I could fucking... I don't know. Stream Elements isn't bad. This could definitely fit into, I would say, the majority of people's workflows, because I can guarantee most people don't really care. But I had everything set up so nice. I mean... It was kind of... So the one thing that Stream Elements is really nice about is you can directly connect all of your individual accounts right up to OBS. So you can set up streams within OBS for each individual platform without having to open up each platform in its own tab to set up the stream and then come over to OBS. I mean, it's a very small thing, but it's really nice. But it doesn't stop the fact that I usually have the streams open in the background just to have the dashboard up and make sure everything's running fine. The bad thing about that is, though, they don't have the full integration of YouTube's live features, because YouTube is primarily a video hosting service. They aren't primarily a live streaming service like the rest of these platforms, other than TikTok. I'd say TikTok is closest to YouTube, because, right, they're kind of like their own thing. And TikTok's whole live situation, you have to educate yourself on TikTok's live if you want to use TikTok live. When it comes to Twitch or Kick, they're pretty much interchangeable. They've got the same like stream. You've pretty much got the same stream recommendations, like for what kind of feed they want receiving at Kick to then be able to deliver it to their viewers. They've got a very similar layout. They've got a very similar legal system. I mean, Kick is basically a clone of Twitch. It's an un-Amazon-owned Twitch clone. But with YouTube, you set up a live broadcast kind of like a video, right? And so you have like a video waiting to go, whether or not your audience can see it as like an upcoming video. So with that, you have to manually start your broadcast. And YouTube has options to start them, like automatically once it starts receiving a feed and shit like that. And that's usually what I do. But you also have to end them automatically. Or, I mean, you have to end them manually, sorry, not automatically. They can end automatically, but it's really finicky. I don't like it in comparison to Twitch's and Kick's. Kick's, I don't really like at all, because Kick's is kind of like YouTube, where once it stops receiving a feed, it doesn't really care. It just kind of shuts off, or it glitches out, and it keeps thinking that you're going to come back, even though you never fucking do. It doesn't do it right. Twitch's isn't bad. They've actually got it pretty dialed in, where, like, they'll know if you're ending a stream versus, like, you've lost connection, and it's kind of all automatic. I really like Twitches because you don't have to worry about it. With Kicks and YouTube's, you have to manage it. Like, you have to preemptively set things up so that, say your internet goes down in the middle of a fucking stream and you don't want the stream to end and you have to go and set up a whole new stream. You just want the internet to come back and your stream go fucking live again because I shouldn't have to fucking do anything. Right? That's when it gets really fucking annoying because you have to go through, set it up so that it doesn't, and then at the end of the stream you have to make sure you set it off, right? Because if you don't want the automatic off on, then you have to turn it off yourself, right? There's no way to have the automatic off so that it doesn't shut off automatically, and then it shut off automatically at the end, right? Which is why I like Twitches, because Twitch has gotten, there was a couple of months there where they weren't too sure with it, and even now every once in a while it'll shut off when, you know, like I'm gonna come right back, but for the most part it's pretty good. Twitch gives you a little bit of leeway. Yeah, there was a little bit of time there where they gave you like too much leeway. You'd have that weird little, the dude going ah with like the blue background and the purple background, and it would just be sitting there for like 10 minutes, and I'm just like, alright, kick out. Like obviously after like the 5-minute mark we're not coming back. Yeah, with Twitches and Kicks, I don't really mind because theirs is long enough to the point to where, like, okay, fine, if my internet was out for that long or my PC's taking that long to fucking restart or whatever the problem may be, then whatever. But that's specifically because of how easy they make it to restart streams, right? All I have to do is send my footage and, you know, all my viewers get they get a new stream with the same title, they get another notification, they get the feed, right? And it's that simple. With YouTube, I have to go and set up another stream, and even if I can reuse the same broadcast settings as before, it's still, you know, like I said, it's very small. It's just as small as being able to set up the streams within OBS and just go live right from there, but it's so convenient. And the reason why convenience is such a big thing for me, at least, is because mid-stream, like, you're not really paying attention to this shit. Oh my god. Not unless you're gonna pay somebody to be your fucking, like, stream auditor, which I'm good at that. Even if I did make hella money off of streaming, not happening. I gotta go open up the door real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, so I mean, if things aren't set up with ease of access, you know, for troubleshooting, for maintenance, and then not resupply, what is it? The words on the tip of my tongue, you know, getting it back up into, I mean, arguably it is part of maintenance, but I don't see restoration. That's what I'm thinking of, restoration. Yeah, it matters, because in the middle of a game, like, you're not really going to be paying attention to that shit. Especially if I'm playing, like, the finals, or Ghost of Tsushima, or, you know, something where I'm trying to be locked in. Fragpunk, fucking, say if I ever get to CSGO, whatever, or new games that end up coming out. Or a horror game, you know? Like, you're locked in. Like, the point isn't to be looking at this and then look over. The only thing I want to look over at is the chat, because I can... Hearing and reading, knowing that it's coming from an individual, are interchangeable to me, at least subconsciously, right? So I don't see it as breaking immersion, at least if I'm completely locked in. I can separate those two things, right? My conversations with the outside world versus my immersion to whatever it is I'm trying to stay focused on. Right, whereas the whole stream, I mean, I'll see myself, I'll see all this other stuff, that completely breaks it. It's very, very small, but it's nice not having to worry about it. But that's assuming it works. Assuming it works. I just sat here and talked for what, 20 minutes? Yeah. Let's see. The stream's happy. YouTube is happy. Twitch is happy. Kick is... doesn't say whether it's happy or not. Yeah. Hell, I forgot to restart my Kick page. For a second, I thought my stream got banned. I was like, ah! Yeah. Everything looks okay, I guess. Lecture 55. Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't think they even went past like 20 or 30. I'll rewatch lecture 14. Man, I titled this notebook and it looks really good, but I feel like it's not drying. And I was right. Yeah, I'll leave it out for a second. more stems, good. Faded Echo, what's up? How are you doing, buddy? I'm pretty good. Oh, I just realized I don't know what chats are working. Shit. Okay, well, Twitch is obviously working, so that's good to see. Hey, thanks for popping in, buddy, for making me realize I had to test that shit. Okay. Well, there's Kick. Those are some messages from yesterday, but they're working. You tripping balls? What you on? You want some acid? You want some shrooms? Smoke some DMT? I mean, if you smoke some DMT, you probably wouldn't be talking to me right now, but... Let's see, does TikTok work? Nope, forgot. TikTok is for bums. Ate some edibles. Oh, nice. You're just high as hell. I thought when you said you were tripping, I thought you meant you were, you know, actually tripping. Edibles don't get me like that anymore, bro. I wish they did. Edibles are what got me into smoking weed, man. Because edibles fucking... The first edible I had fucking killed me, dude. That shit literally felt like I was dying. I was absolutely tripping balls. So I know exactly what you're talking about. That shit was so fire. I've never been high like that since, man. Tripping on acid type? I'm right there with you. I don't really like shrooms. It won't dry. Oh my god. That was after blowing on it for like fucking 10 minutes, dude. And like letting it sit here while I took a rip. Never realized the first time. No, I completely... Actually, no. The second time I got high. Oh my god. Maybe this is why I've never been as high as then. The first two times I got high, we fucking went hard. So I split an edible with my boy the first time. And it was a good thing we split it because that thing killed both of us. Like we both felt like we were absolutely dying. I mean, straight up dying and being reborn. Like, I mean, right on the cusp of actual hallucination, bruh. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? But the second time, a couple of my boys took me to, I guess they turned into my boys, and now they're not anymore. But at the time, they were a bunch of random niggas. A couple of my boys, they had taken me to another one of their garage, and they had a gravity bong set up there because their fucking dad didn't care about them smoking. So we sat there and just went round and round and round and round. Second time smoking. Granted, I'm like only down the street from my house, but we were there for a couple of hours. On my way back home, I forgot where I was going, bro. Like, I didn't forget where I lived. I just forgot where I was for a second because I was in like a relatively newer area to me. I mean, I've been around it, but I was within like a housing complex. So I'd never been inside that complex before, and I just gotten lost. 50 milligram ate the whole thing. Hell yeah, brother. We don't know what ours was. It was just it was like a homemade one, bro. I just made some butter and, you know, made some brownies. It wasn't supposed to be anything too crazy. They were pretty small, too, from what I remember. They were like, oh, I guess my hands are way smaller than two. My scale's not going to be off. I remember between now and then, quarters started to look different, bro. And I thought quarters were like nickels for a while. What are you doing today, bro? Today is Thursday? It's Friday. Damn, this whole week has gone by hella fast. And I've eaten a couple 100 milligram chocolates, and they never did anything to me, but granted, they were all, like, medicinal ones from dispensaries. I never had any good hits with dispensary edibles. Every homemade one's fucking smacked me, bruh. Justine, what's up? Oh, did not mean to open game. It's fire, getting high and play video games? Good shit, bro. What do you normally play? I've already watched this lecture, but since it's in another, like, course, I'll just watch it again. Write what notes on it I need. Far Cry 5 or Fallout 4? Far Cry 5 is fire, bruh. Far Cry 5 is so fire. Are there people on arcade still? I love Far Cry 5, and I played the ever-living shit out of it a couple of years ago. I beat it like 6 or 7 times, but I don't have all the achievements yet, and I really want to try and complete it on Steam and by extension Ubisoft, but I don't really give a fuck about Ubisoft. Mortuary Assistant, I've seen that. That looks hella funny, bruh. Hella fucked up. Funny to me, but I'm hella morbid, bruh. It definitely looks hella sketch. An optical loss test set. Like, I don't have any notes to write about this because I use these on the daily. I mean, not anymore, but good shit. Good shit. Hey, thanks, Faded Echo. Appreciate it, bro. I heard it, but I didn't see it. Oh, no! Why did I hear it then? What the fuck? Where does the audio come from? Does the audio come from the browser? Yeah, that's damn, bro. It's my bad, dude. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna set those back up. That's retarded. My Twitch alerts apparently got deleted from my sources. Before you joined, I was like on a big ass tangent about how I had recently swapped a whole bunch of like my OBS plugins so that I could maybe have an easier time streaming potentially. But it just gave me a bunch of stress instead. I did end up using the new thing, and one of the good things about the new thing is I should be able to set up fucking like overlays for every individual service, but I don't have that set up yet. Can I copy the link from here? Copy browser source, fire. Studying computer engineering, it is actually fiber optic telecommunications, although who knows what I'll eventually get into. I'm just kind of a big nerd all around. That computer over there, I built it. I've got a fucking, I got a bike that I built, like an electric bike. Obviously, I'm doing a bunch of research for fiber optic telecommunications. I used to be a fiber optic residential internet service provider tech, well, residential and industrial, but it was pretty rare we'd get commercial clients. Either way, I'm doing a testing course right now so that I can electrical engineering. Nice. That's what I was going to go for, but a year, which was like the max they'd let me do, or sorry, for a semester, right? It would take like a minimum of 6 to 8 years, and I'm just like, dude, right? And that's assuming you don't fall behind at all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right, which I was paid out of pocket. And still had to work full time. The job I had at the time wasn't too bad. I was able to work a couple months on, a couple months off, but I couldn't really schedule those months on and off to coincide with, to not coincide with schooling. Right, so no matter what, I'd have to be doing schooling out in the field, and we were doing like 12, 14-hour days. Not very practical. Either way, you know, it's funny. I don't have a job right now, and I ended up having to quit my last one specifically because I didn't have enough time to be able to do this shit either. So, no matter what, I'm in the same boat. Although that last job that I had, I was referencing that I quit from, was not the same job that I had. That was a couple months on, a couple months off. I don't program, although I do have I got a monoprice mini Delta that I've messed with, and I've wanted to get into some of the other ones, but I just don't have the time and money. I got a bunch of CAD designs that I'd like to get printed. Yeah, exactly. It's called life. 100%, bro. I got a bunch of, like I was saying, I got a bunch of CAD designs that I want to have fucking printed and shit, but I don't want to put them out into the ether, although it would be nice to let other people print them, but I want to be able to test them, you know, I mean, they're just shitty designs that they need to be further developed and tested to see if they're actually worth it, you know, or if my idea is even physically, truly feasible, or what metal pieces I'm going to use. Yeah, all the other R&D that goes into designing a fucking product, or project, I guess, is how I want to say it, not product. Did I write this before? I already wrote the... Yeah, I literally wrote all this already. I was gonna say, like, I feel like I've already been here. I had an edible so long I forgot what it feels like. Good, bro, good. Speaking of, I should make some. My mom gave me some canna butter, like, almost a year ago, bro. It's just been sitting in my freezer. Yeah, maybe this winter I'll make some brownies or something. I live in Fresno, so it just gets way too hot during the summer to do anything like that, bruh. This last week, it's finally been getting down to like the mid-60s at night, dude. Oh my god, and it's gonna rise back up in, I want to say, like a week. Page was that? Lesson 7. Lecture 14. Page 52. Space Brownies. Is that a brand? That sounds familiar. Nothing comes to mind. Can you hear that fucking plane? They've got a lot of traffic, bruh. I've heard like 3 or 4 planes land already. Usually we get like maybe one a day. Oh, well that's probably why I've heard of it. Yeah, I mean I just call them edibles or brownies. Like my mom used to call, or at least when I lived with them, she'd call edible cookies cookies. Got a joke? Let's hear it, buddy. Oh, that's working, okay.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Shut up. Damn! It's not bad at all. I might make myself a little smaller. On TikTok, it is a little, it's a little squished. You can totally still see everything. That's fire. I thought on my preview it looks way worse. It looks like you're not gonna actually be able to see what's going on because it's so fucking squished. How did the pirate get his lesbian sister laid? He said, "Our finger me sister." Back. Sort of shiver me timbers, finger me sister. Okay, this one I'm actually gonna have to pay attention to. I have not seen this one. Oh, and I've got a lot of reading to do. I'm not gonna read that. Well, actually, I'll check it out real quick. BFLs, optical loss test sets, fucking... Oh, spectrum analyzers, okay, I guess I'll read that, because I know what GDRs, BFLs, yeah. Ooh, I'll read a little bit up on the dedicated bandwidth testers, too. Wave reflectometer. Okay, so there's a little bit of stuff I should read up on here. Cool. This 5 years ago, bro. Oh my god. Rip. What happened? Rip what? Rest in peace to who? Shush, we do not need that copyright music to play right now. Reading all that? Yeah, I know. Sucks, but these what it is. Cheers. Yeah, I'd have to take a test too. I have until 10/11. A month. Oh, I guess maybe I'll do the 9th. I don't know. Usually when you say it's monthly, it's date to date. Either way, I got a month to take the exam. Cool. Yeah. Gotta take that test. You gotta Discord? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you're on Twitch, it should be on my page. You should have a direct invite link to it. Or maybe if you scroll down. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't... Check it out. I always say I'm going to check it out while I'm live, and I never do because I'm always live. I guess I'd have to make one. And, you know, have it say all the shit on it. Flame. I know if you go... Sprat. I bat. Maybe I don't get to see him? I sprat. Yeah. What the... I've got them put up. Ah, they're right here. The Discord, the YouTube, I got my Twitter, got my dead subreddit. Yeah, maybe I just don't get to see it because I'm channel owner. I don't do that. You on fire, brother. I'm in the voice chat listening to this stupid ass fucking lo-fi. Right. You don't have to join. We're all pretty chill in there. We just say a bunch of random stuff. We're usually in there at night. It's a little early. Everybody's at work right now. I am not twerking, Sav. Why are you on YouTube? You're usually on Twitch. Last person aside from you I told that to on stream was EDP. Right, because you were totally in the EDP streams, bro. You be up in them EDP streams, bruh. Yeah. Yeah, the only reason you watch me now is because fucking EDP can't stream anymore, bruh. Go because that was like again for show faded. Hope you have a good rest of your day, man. I am taking another rip. Cheers. Thank you. You only tuned into one stream, right, Sam. I mean, a couple hundred people were spamming twerk. Bruh, that's sick. Who wants to see a fat black nigga twerk? Like, bruh. Bruh, oh hell no, I don't want to see that shit. That's sick. something dumb, but nothing there is useful. This pen sucks, bruh. Bruh. White out. Butt. Oh my god. Like, that's not necessary at all, bro. Hey, good morning. Heidi Animations, how are you doing today? Good to hear. Right? You take the reference power, compare it to the measured power, and then you multiply whatever that is by 10? Or 10 to the log? Because I haven't used that shit since high school. This is better, bro. Oh my god, bro. I do not need to... Hey, thanks for the sub. Why did it not? That's weird. I wonder why I didn't say it. Said it a week ago for Brandon. It's retarded. Logarithm to base 10. Give a number, log 10. Okay, okay, so it is 10 to the log then. Okay. Over. Okay, fine. And I'll listen to you. Oh my god. Okay. Well, it is and it isn't, because... I mean, it's both very complex and it's of the basis of math, which, you know, funnily enough gets argued over in, like, kindergarten classrooms all the time. Well, whatever. Anything times 0 is 0, except 1. 1 times 0 is 1. What am I studying for? This is just, so specifically this certification I'm studying for right now is fiber optic testing. Oh! It's just super laggy. I see. Okay. Well, thanks for subscribing. I guess I got the email long before the notification. Like I said, this is just telecommunications through fiber optics, but what I'm doing right now specifically is testing. I have a test to take, like testing of the systems, and so that's why I need all this background math to know how the test equipment actually works, so you can potentially know if it doesn't work. I mean, I don't know. I've never had to need that out in the field, and I've already been working out in the field with the equipment, so I don't know. We'll see. Good to know, though. I'll definitely say that. Right, this is finally putting into perspective just how... Yeah, exactly. Right, in practice as a fiber to the home technician, we can't have a lower than minus 25. Which, since this is like a compressing effect, minus 25 is... Oh my god, that's like, what, minus 200 times? Oh, no, it'd be 20. At a 20 times loss, which would be a point. A half of a point of the original power from the original system, which is, or from the original sender. Transmitter. Yeah. A point of a point. Okay. How about I actually get it? I'm gonna write all this shit down and then copy that graph, not the graph, the little table. Okay, wait, not this. Where's the next slide? There we go. Retarded. Oh, I'm getting hungry, bruh. Oh, I'm hungry. Do we have enough space for that? This is very... Okay, nice. I have just enough space. That's crazy. Haley, what's up? Telecommunications through fiber optics. This is specifically testing. You know, testing planted cable and other systems and subsystems. Oh. Fuck that up. I fucked that up. I had already fucked it up. Didn't even realize it. I like these little whiteout tapes because they're, when they work, they're quicker than traditional whiteout. Yeah. I always find myself missing the old paint. Old paint whiteout, bro. I should not fuck around. Oh, my stomach is not good. Ah! All the tape whiteout does is fuck around, dude. I swear. Buddy. Oh my god, bro. I'm just not allowed to fix my notes. Like if these tapes don't go on perfectly, then they just never go on. Dude. Bro. Oh my god. It's mad annoying, dude. Because it wastes time, it wastes money, it wastes effort, and there's no real reason for it. Dude, I've got like 4 layers on this fucked up piece. Jeez. Thank you. My goodness. And that was it. That's all I needed. 5 seconds when it actually confirmed. This pen is ass. I was literally using it yesterday. What's the button now? 100. Dude. Bro. Don't you just love it when, like, you make one line with a pen and then the next part, like the next line you want to make, part of the same letter or digit, it just dies on you? Dude, all you see is an indent of what you meant to do. Like, oh, come on. I'm about to just throw this pen away and grab another one, dude. It's pissing me off at this point. I can't focus on writing. I have to focus on the pen not actually doing that. Dumb as fuck. You know, I didn't realize that these measurements were all comparative, and so one time I thought I fucked my meter up out in the field just because I was pressing the buttons, and I re-referenced the 0 to, like, with the cap off, and so it saw some sunlight, and, you know, sunlight has all spectrums of light, so some of the spectrum of light that is actually read by the reader was picked up. And at that point I wouldn't measure correctly, and so I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do, what am I gonna do? And you know what you do? You just put the fucking cap back on and re-zero it back to darkness. Like, right? It'd be like, in this comparison, I'd be like bending it, zeroing it to the bend, and then unbending it, and then the meter would show, you know, an addition, because it'd be in comparison to what the 0 was set to. That doesn't help. Yeah, it flips the whole thing. There definitely is. Literally just comes down to retards not doing their fucking research. Like, bro, like everything. These people. What was that? Register for a fashion fest. Yeah, how about you fuck off, TikTok? Right. Why would you do that? Exactly. The same thing with copper. Like, bruh. Right? Like for copper, that'd be like having your central drop, like your central area where all the drops throughout a building are connected to, running one drop for each area and then testing it there, or running all of them and then fucking bring in like your source to each individual thing, and then, you know, having your dude bring it over there rather than there are some where you can just have a whole bunch plugged in. You can just boop, 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 walk around and then go back and swap them over. Yep, 100%. The only reason it helped me is because I've got field experience. I can see this doing nothing but hopelessly confusing somebody who has absolutely no field experience. What do you say? Yeah. Oh. Time for lots of reading. Love it. Spectrum analyzer. Oh. Oh, so it doesn't even exist. Okay. Okay, so yeah. Bye. That's actually fire. Voice over fiber optic cables. I swear I've read this already, but I don't remember reading that. Dude, that's actually sick as fuck. That is so cool. Like, imagine being able to go to, like, an Amazon building, and assuming all their speakers are set up to their, like, internal, communications plants, like, you could just plug that little phone in and start using it, using all the speakers in the building as a fucking loudspeaker. That is crazy. Like... No, because that's just using the optical loss test set. Jeez, greater than 250 meters? That's fucking insane! Literally, like, just a whole bundle of cable. Like, why take that shit off the fucking spool? Oh, my stomach.
Oh, my tummy.
Oh, my tummy. Oh, my tummy. Oh, my tummy. Oh, my tummy. Oh. My tummy doesn't feel good. My tummy very much does not feel good. Oh my god. I think I'm just hungry. It's 12 o'clock. I've been up since like... No, I didn't get up at 8, did I? Oh my god, I think I did get up at 8, bruh. I think I did get up early today. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a break, use the bathroom, and eat something. I'm hungry. 12 o'clock. How long is it? It's 77 in the house. I think I might take a shower too. Yeah, then I'll be back on later, probably doing some more of this. I might take my test today, though. No, I'm going to take it on the weekend, I think. Because I took the other test a week ago today, right? Yeah, it was on the 5th, yep. So I'll take it on Monday. I'll see how much of the testing one I can get done this weekend. Right, I'm on lesson number 2, I think. Yes, I am. I don't know why those weren't purple. But whatever, now they are. Alright, and I got 5 more to go after 2, so shouldn't take too long. The other one had like 10, and the last 3 were fucking huge in comparison to the rest, so these are all pretty small. Oh my god, my tummy is coming back. Okay. I will be back later. See, is there a way for me to... There isn't. That's so lame. Okay. Bye-bye.